If you're a lifter between the ages of 30 and 50, should you do upright rows? We're going to be diving into whether or not you should, are they risky, and why even do them in the first place. So, before we dive into all that, make sure you like and subscribe. We're really trying to put out a lot of YouTube content, and the more we know what you like, the better we can tailor these things to you so you're getting exactly what you need. Now, there is a lot of controversy about upright rows. Some people swear by them. Some people say that they're super dangerous and one of the most dangerous exercises that you can do. So, what's the truth? We're going to break down why they get such a bad rap, who should avoid them, and how to make them feel good in your program, and just a little bit of a secret. I love upright rows, and I do upright rows, and I don't think that they're dangerous. However, I do think that there are people that are maybe a little underprepared to be able to do them, but they're not inherently bad. So let's dive into why people do them, why they're hated, what we can do about it. Upright rows are so good at hitting your lateral delts. They are so good at hitting some traps and upper back. For me, I use them as a lateral delt exercise because my delts are super hard to grow, and this is one of the things that make them feel like they are popping more than anything else. They're easy to load, they're easy to feel, and I just personally love them. Now, some people absolutely hate them, and that's okay. I'm not trying to get you to switch to doing upright rows if you don't want to do them. But so many people are scared to do them because people say that they're bad. So, why do people hate them? We're going to pretend like this is an upright row. The shoulder is coming up. Typically, the elbows are going to be up a little bit higher than the shoulders. Hand position, for me, it kind of depends on what feels best for you. I kind of play around with it depending on how I'm feeling for that day. But that position goes into shoulder impingement. So if you're someone that has shoulder impingement at baseline, you're dealing with symptoms of this shoulder impingement, then these probably aren't going to be the best thing for you just yet. Basically, we're going into a little bit of internal rotation, right? We're going into what's called abduction. That just means that the hand and the arm are going away from the body. So then what happens is we can have this biceps tendon, which, let's see, the biceps tendon runs here and attaches in here. So what happens is as we're internally rotating and lifting, that biceps tendon can get pinched. We also see where these blue things are, these blue marks. That's where the rotator cuff attaches. And so we can also see it's getting a little pinched when we're doing that. Those are two of the things that get pinched with shoulder impingement. And so if you're someone who has that, it's probably going to be pissy. However, just this motion in general, for me, I have no shoulder pain, but I'm technically going into a shoulder impingement position just because of that space. It's narrowing. I just don't have symptoms. So most people hate them because it is quote unquote risking shoulder impingement. It is quote unquote pissing the symptoms of shoulder impingement off. So when we're pulling that bar up, right? When we're pulling our elbows up, it does decrease the space, which is thought to increase the inflammation or the tension on the biceps tendon or on the supraspinatus tendon, which is part of your rotator cuff. So again, if you already have that shoulder impingement history, or if you're someone whose shoulder blade's not moving as well as it could be, if you don't have a super strong rotator cuff, this exercise might be pissy for you. But the good news is there's something that you can do if you want to push with upright rows, if this is an important exercise for you. There is something that can be done. You just have to figure out what the root of your issue is, why you're having pain with this exercise, attack that, and then you can start slowly progressing into that. So again, like I want to emphasize, I don't think that any exercise is bad. I do think that they're underprepared bodies. So if you're someone who has shoulder problems, upright rows, even lateral raises probably aren't going to be your best friend for a minute. However, I do think that there's a way that you can work back into those. You just have to find it. So if you're like, Caitlin, it just doesn't seem like this is really worth it, right? It just doesn't seem like this exercise is worth the potential risk. Okay, that's fine. Again, I'm not here to convince you to do these or not do them or whatever. I'm just trying to show you, hey, like they can be okay. They can be safe. And I do them. probably twice a week. So, for what that's worth. But some alternatives that you can use. I like to do dumbbell lateral raises. Again, if you're someone who has a cranky shoulder, going arm full out's probably not going to be your best bet. But what you can do is you can do a bent arm lateral raise. The reason that this works, there's a bunch of physics terms involved, but basically, even if you have 15 pounds out here versus 15 pounds right here, it's going to be completely different, but you're still able to work that motion. It doesn't put as much torque on your shoulder as it does out here. You can also do a modified range of motion with that upright row, again, if you want to do it. There are so many things you can do. You can do dumbbells, you can do cables in order to hit that lateral delt if that is something that is important to you. Now, if you are someone that has shoulder impingement, I have a few videos on this that you can go watch. One thing that you can try is a banded shoulder flexion exercise. This is one of my absolute favorites, and I like to pair it with a single arm lat pull down. The banded shoulder flexion I'm going to tag here, but I want to make sure that, again, you know what the root cause of your issue is. However, this is a very good exercise that I like to use for a lot of people that have shoulder impingement symptoms that maybe are getting in the way of the upright rows. So, should you do them? Should you not? It's pretty much a personal preference. I like them. I'm going to keep doing them. And then obviously continue to monitor and assess. I want to make sure that this is an exercise that does feel good for me. I love them. I feel like I'm hitting my lateral delt in one of the best ways that I can. However, again, complete personal preference. I don't really care if you do them or not. Just know that they're not inherently evil. Again, no exercise is bad. It's just whether or not your body's prepared for that or not. So, if you want to completely bulletproof your body, make sure that you are able to handle whatever exercise you want, whenever you want, and you want to collapse that time, shoot me a text, just message me P3, and let's figure out a way to help you get from pain to pain-free PRs or even just prevent pain in the first place. Shoot me a message. We're going to chat. We're going to develop a high-level strategy for you based on what it is you need, based on a root cause assessment. But let's get you training pain-free. Let's help you hit some new PRs, and let's have some freaking fun in the process. Shoot me a message if you have any questions. I'll see you on the next one.